It's Professor Wyatrowski, and I'm here just to go over very quickly the extra practice problems that I gave you in class. I'm going to assume you have the sheets in front of you, and I'm just going to show you how I would set the problems up. And I'm hoping that you will have already attempted these questions before you watch this video, so that you're really just checking to see if you did everything correctly. So I just want to remind you really quickly that when we work with mole problems, we are following this order of grams to moles to molecules. And so depending on the type of question, we may just be going moles to molecules, or we may be going molecules to moles, or we might be going all the way from molecules to moles to grams, or vice versa. So each question, you have to read each question and see what exactly it is you're going to need to do. We're going to be solving all of these questions using dimensional analysis. And so the very first one is how many moles are in 67 grams of sodium chloride? Because we're going to be dealing in grams, we will need to know the molar mass of sodium chloride. And you, again, would find that using your periodic table. You simply look at the mass of sodium and the mass of chlorine and you add them up. And it should come out to be 58.44 grams. So to set up question number 1 using dimensional analysis, I always just simply start with the number that's given, and that is 67 grams. Now I'm interested in getting to moles. So I'm going to go ahead and I need to set this up so that I can cross off grams and get to moles. And this number right here, by the way, assumes over 1. We don't have to write that, but it's assumed to be over 1. In order to cross off grams, I need to have grams down here now, and I can cross them off. And what I know about sodium chloride specifically is that 1 mole of sodium chloride equals 58.44 grams. And that allows me to cross off my grams and then just finish the calculation, because what I'm left with is moles. So I would simply go 67 times 1 divided by 58.44, and then that would be my answer. Okay. Number 2, how many grams are in 3.2 moles of sodium chloride? Again, we're going to start with the number that we're given. In this case is moles. And I want to get to grams. So I need to set this side up over here so that the moles can cancel out. And I'm just going to use the same relationship as above, that I know that 1 mole is to 58.44 grams. And this allows moles to cross off. And then I simply just need to times 3.2 times 58.44. The third one is how many molecules in 5 moles of sodium chloride. So I'm going to be using this portion right here of this sort of pathway. I'm always going to just write what I'm given. So the first one is 5 moles. And now I have to be able to cross moles off and get to molecules. Well, I'm going to go ahead and use the general knowledge that 1 mole of anything is 6.02 times 10 to the 23 molecules or atoms or individual items. So over here, I want to cross off moles. So I'm going to put moles here, and I'm going to put the 6.02 times 10 to the 23 up here. And so that crosses off moles, and then I can just go 5 times 6.02 times 10 to the 23, and that will tell us how many molecules we have. That's what we'll end with. Number 4 is how many moles in 5.2 times 10 to the 22nd atoms of sodium chloride. Atoms, molecules, numbers of M&Ms, whatever, you would use this number here, the Avogadro's number. So this one I'm given this number to start with. Okay, I always start there. And I want to get to moles. So I'm just going to use the same relationship that I used above. So this is in molecules. So I need to be able to cross off molecules, which means I need to put molecules down here this time. Because remember that this is over 1. So now molecules cross off, and I can just put my 1 mole here. And so I would simply times 5.2 times 10 to the 22nd by 1 and divide by 6.02 times 10 to the 23. Number 5 is how many molecules in 92 grams of sodium chloride. So this is going to be a double stepper because I'm going from grams to moles to molecules. I can't skip steps in this case. I have to go from one to the next. And so in this case, I'm starting with 92 grams. Okay. So the first thing I need to do is get to moles. In order to do that, I need to cross off grams. And I know from above that the molar mass of sodium chloride is 58.44 grams, and that's equivalent to 1 mole. And that gets rid of my grams now. And I just need one more step, and I need to get rid of moles and end in molecules. So I'm going to go ahead and put my 6.02 times 10 to the 23 up here, because that's molecules, and that's to 1 mole. And that gets rid of moles and leaves me in molecules. So it's just 92 times 1 divided by 58.44 times 6.02 times 10 to the 23. And then the last one is how many grams in 6.1 times 10 to the 22 molecules. And it's actually working this in reverse. So I'm just going to start with what I'm given. I need to get from molecules to moles. So in this case, I'm going to put the 6.02 times 10 to the 23 down here. And that gets rid of molecules. And then I can put up here 1 mole. And then the next one, so I'm running out of room here. And I'm going to go ahead and use the same relationship that 1 mole of sodium chloride is 58.44 grams. And that gets rid of moles, and I end up in grams. So 6.1 times 10 to the 22nd times 1 divided by 6.02 times 10 to the 23 times 58.44 grams. And that will give you all the answers that you need for these mole problems. And hopefully by now you're kind of beginning to see the pattern as to how these are all set up. Once you understand the pattern of crossing off your units, these become relatively simple to set up. If you have any questions, go ahead and send me an email over the weekend.